what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Jeff here, and happy Friday to everybody. I know it's may not be Friday as you're watching this video, but it's Friday at least as I'm recording this, and it's early. I got off of work early. I have a buddy coming in town tonight. I stopped at the grocery store near me that has some good craft beer selection, so I picked up some pretty good beer. So I'm sitting here enjoying some beer, looking at some baseball cards, and want to show some stuff that I picked up. Let me get this last sip in. Last sip before I finish this video. So my videos lately have been really long, so I'm going to try to make this one shorter. But if you guys have seen my last video, you saw that I went to a card shop, not for the first time, but first time in a long time, a local card shop by my house, and I ended up scoring a really good deal on some cards. You know, I ended up picking up like 1,400 cards from, you know, commons, but 1,400 cards from 1966 through 1971. And then there was some like 72, 73, 74, 75s. So altogether it was about 1,700 cards that I picked up for like 80 bucks, which came out to like less than 5 cents a card. And they gave me some really killer deal on this stuff. So that was Saturday last weekend, and I put that video out on Tuesday showing that stuff. Well, on Wednesday, I remembered the card shop by my house, they have another one about a half hour away. And I was getting off of work on Wednesday, and I wasn't too far away from where the other card shop is. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop there and see if they have the same sort of deals, right? See if they have these 3 for $1 boxes that I kind of went through at the local card shop by me. So I did that. And I ended up scoring what I think is some pretty good deals there. And then, you know, I was jonesing on my way home, you know, after what I picked up there, and I was excited about that. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop back at that card shop by my house where I was on Saturday and see if there's anything else that I can go through and I missed and things like that. So I did that, and I got a bunch of other great cards from that as well. So yeah, I'm just sitting here. I'm gonna show those. And again, I'm gonna try to make this one a little bit shorter than some of my recent videos, because some of my recent videos have been way longer than I thought they would be. But all right, let me get into it and let me start showing you what I picked up. All right, so first thing, when I was going through the boxes of cards, again, this card shop, they didn't tell me 3 for $1. Here, they had said, just grab what you're interested in, bring it up to the counter, and we'll work out a price, right? So I was like, all right. I didn't know how comfortable I was with that, and I was thinking, you know, I probably wouldn't get as good of a deal, but I figured, why not? I'll do it, and so I did. So I grabbed this stack, right? And so it is a stack of this cards here, these here. So there's 48 cards here, and then this stack, which there's about 100 here. So, and I've already pulled them out of the top loaders they were in. You know, they were all in these random yellowed 9-sleeve pages that were cut, and some just bad old top loaders with price tags on them or stickers on them. So I pulled them all out. I got them into penny sleeves, and so here they are. All right, so the first stack, right? And it's funny because it's something that is, I don't collect at all. Again, it's just one of those things where like you see it and you kind of just want it, and it doesn't fit any part of your collection, but you just pull the trigger and buy it anyway, right? Because I felt like it was cheap. So it's this here, about 100 cards. And what they are not even baseball cards. They are the 1977 Series 1 Star Wars cards, right? So I don't know much about these, right? But I've always just kind of been intrigued by them. You know, I know obviously Star Wars is really popular. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I mean, I don't dislike it, but I'm just not really a Star Wars guy. But for some reason, you know, they're Topps cards, right? And there's something about it that appeals to me. So I saw these, the price tag on it, it says $2 each. You could probably see the $2 there, but it's really faded and it says each. So I don't know what they were trying to get for them, but I brought these to the counter. Like I said, there's about 100 of them in here, and they looked at it and they said, how about $10? So I was like, yeah, all right, $10, I'll do $10. And it's, and since I got them, I looked them up a little bit more, and it's like, I think the set, there's 66 of them. This is series 1. So the first series, 66 of them. There's 55 different in here out of the 66. So I would need 11 more cards to finish this set. I think the number 1 card, I didn't actually look up what it was. I think it might be the Darth Vader, but that's not in here, but there's still 55 out of the 66 in here. And I thought for $10, who cares? I felt like it was a pretty good deal. So maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm wrong, it was only $10. So this was what I bought for $10. Then I had a stack of 48 cards. Again, they were in some of those other holders. I put them in these and penny sleeves, and he had said $15 for these. And so I think I did pretty well for $15. All right, so first off, I kind of mixed up the order here. All right, so first off, this is just a random, whatever, who cares? But a Jackson Holiday. I didn't have any Jackson Holidays, right? I guess it's his rookie card. It has the rookie card logo on the bottom. But I just thought it was cool because he's holding up his first Bowman card, right? So, just a photo of him holding up his rookie card. Thought that was cool. So whatever, right? Basically 33 cents, right? 48 cards I got for $15. So that's a little less than 33 cents a card. Then he had a stack of he did have a stack of Nolan Ryans that I'll get into, but he had a stack of Frank Thomas cards. And, as a kid in Chicago in the 90s, I loved Frank Thomas, right? I was a Cubs fan, but I loved Frank Thomas as well. So he just had some inserts and early, better cards. So I picked these up. Just a Diamonds King insert, a Number Cruncher insert, a early score, Rising Star card. There is a Finest card, I think it's his 93 Finest in there. A Bowman's Best, a Big Hurt insert. I think it's triple play, something with nicknames or whatever, but the Big Hurt. And then some Leaf slideshow card here. So pretty cool stuff. Picked that up. I thought there was one more. I think I'm missing one Frank Thomas somewhere in here. But grab those. Then there were these. I thought they were from actually 1981. But, I'm getting up there in age. I'm 44 years old now. So my eyesight is not as good as it once was. And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, 1981. Kellogg's Corn Flakes, Sport Flicks, but turns out they're 91. But they're still cool, right? So a Yogi Berra. Is this Ernie Banks? A Billy Williams. And I think another Willie Mays and Ernie Banks. So I thought those were cool. There was a Emmitt Smith Pro Set rookie in there. I didn't have this, so figured that was cool. Then, randomly, a 85 Donruss Kirby Puckett rookie. How cool is that, right? They're basically 33 cents for that. A few Cal Ripken Jr. cards. His 83 tops. And then 2 of his 84 tops. And then there was a stack of Nolan Ryan. And so I grabbed some of these. A 90 Leaf. A 90 Leaf No Hit King. An 86 Tops. There was 3 of these. 1984 Tops. And then there was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 1981 tops. I mean, yeah, I don't know why I need 16, but you know what? For basically 33 cents each, why not? An 80 tops strikeout leaders, Nolan Ryan, J.R. Richard. A 79 tops, Nolan Ryan. A 78 tops, Nolan Ryan. And these are all in pretty good shape. I think this is another 78, but a career wins leader. I think that's what it is. Most games, maybe. Got that. 2 1977 tops, Nolan Ryans. And you got a 74, which this card is beat up for sure. But hey, it's a 74 Nolan Ryan for about 33 cents. So again, you know, this whole stack that I just showed, you know, the Star Wars was $10 for 100 of those. First series 1977 Star Wars, you know, 100 cards for $10 or yeah, $10. And then you had these, right? Then you had these Nolan Ryans and these Frank Thomases and these, you know, these Kellogg's Corn Flakes cards and these Cal Ripkins and just more Nolan Ryans, but all of that for $15. So $25 for this whole stack. I thought that was pretty good. And I bought them, obviously. All right, then I was going home, and I mentioned this, I think, but I was super excited about all that stuff. I was on my way home, and I was thinking about the cards that I had got that past Saturday, and I don't know if I showed this, but actually here's that stuff. So I still got to go through and organize all that. But this is everything I picked up on Saturday. So this whole stack, you know, these 2 stacks here, that's all the 1966 through 71 cards. And then here's a little pile here that I picked up that I got for $5 initially. I picked out a stack. He said $5. Actually, he said $2, but I paid him $5. And then I went back and got all this for $80. So I was excited about all that, and I ended up going back. And luckily, it was the same guy when I went back after this other card shop. He was there, he was working, he remembered me, and I started going through some other stuff. So I didn't buy as many cards this time, but I think I got just as good of a deal, if not better. So I have already gone through, again, this stack, and I put them all into penny sleeves already, right? So I cleaned them out from their old top loaders they were in, you know, with all these price tags on it for $8, and some of these were priced at $25. Again, I don't know how accurate that is, and I don't think they'd get anywhere near that, but $10. But again, a lot of these cards had price tags on them, and I put the stack in front of him. He didn't even look through it. He just saw the stack and the size of it, and he says to me, $5? And I was like, deal. So I paid $5 for everything I'm about to show you, okay? And the first few things, not that exciting, but it gets better. All right, so for $5, there is 65 cards here. So I should have did the math before I came, before I hit record on this, but it's under 10 cents a card, right? 10 cents a card, 50 cards would be $50. I got 65 cards for $5. So it's under 10 cents a card. All right, so I'm just gonna get into some of it. So these, again, not very exciting. Random 90s inserts, right? I loved 90s basketball as a kid. I loved the inserts. These are some of the Stadium Club clear cuts. You know, Gerald Wilkins and Vin Baker and Stacey Augman and Dino Raja. Yeah, some of those guys, but just brings back some nostalgia. So I bought them for, cheap, whatever. Here's, I don't know what this is, a little sealed 1992-93 Series 1 hoops, basketball hoops, John Stockton on the back. Again, I know it's not very exciting, but for less than 10 cents, who cares? He had a stack of random players, right? There was like stacks of random players from like 91, 92, 92, 93, 93, 94 rookies. So I saw this stack of Christian Laettners. So I bought these. It's just a bunch of different Christian Laettner rookies, Tops, Upper Deck, Stadium Club, Fleer, Hoops, Ultra, all that stuff. So I bought some of those. And then same thing with Chris Webber. Chris Webber, I believe, is a Hall of Famer, right? But there was just some of his rookies, Fleer and Skybox and Upper Deck and Ultra and Hoops. So I picked up some of those too, just because of nostalgic reasons. So that's it for basketball. Then there was some football stuff that I grabbed. And I love some of the stuff that I grabbed here. Here is a early 90s Barry Sanders insert, right? Picked that up. I picked up two 1990 Action Pack Junior Seau rookies. And it's funny because I actually picked up an Emmitt Smith of these on Saturday. So I have an Emmitt Smith rookie, and now I have two Junior Seaus. So I grabbed those. There was a Upper Deck Brett Favre rookie in there, so I thought that was cool. There was a 86 Topps Andre Reed rookie, so that was cool. 86 Topps Bruce Smith, I believe it's his rookie. Bruce Smith rookie, I think. So that was cool. Early 80s Archie Manning card. I've never had an Archie Manning card, so I thought that was cool. Picked that up. Never really owned one of these. A 1979 Terry Bradshaw and Roger Staubach leaders card. So whatever, picked that up. Here is a Ronnie Lott rookie. Sure, it's way off center, top to bottom. It's off center, left to right, and it's even diamond cut, but still a Ronnie Lott rookie for under 10 cents. So I'll take it. It's sharp otherwise. Here's a 79 Tony Dorsett card. Not a rookie, but, Hall of Famer, great player. So pick that up. There was an Ozzie Newsome 79. I think this is his rookie card. But again, under 10 cents, how could you not? And then this one I was most excited about because it's a Chicago Bear, and how can you not love Walter Payton, 1979, for 10 cents, less than 10 cents. Part of the $5 stack. It's crazy, and that's in great shape. Yeah, it's a little off center and whatnot, but it's in great shape. So, all right, pick that up. And then some baseball. The rest of it is baseball. A few whatevers, right? This was in there. It's a 2013 Chris Sale Finest. I didn't know when his rookie was. I thought maybe it was, even though it didn't say rookie or anything on it, but it's not. So whatever, don't care about that. I had a stack of these from my previous purchase. The Hank Greenberg was not in it, so this was there, so I grabbed that. There's an 88 Topps Tom Glavine rookie, right? A few cards just for my Hall of Fame binder, or Hall of Fame player box, things like that, maybe binder. But at 82 Tom Seaver, All-Star, 82 Seaver, regular card. There's an 82 All-Star of Mike Schmidt, picked that up. And then I found some other cards. I wish I would have found these on Saturday because I'm sure this would have all been included in the $80. But just some more random, a 66, just 66 card, a random 71 card, a few 69s that I saw. Bob Gibson checklist, that's a cool one, right? Unmarked Bob Gibson checklist from 69, so I grabbed that. Here's some 68s. I think one of these, maybe it's this one. Yeah, this one here is a big crease down the middle, but whatever, pick that up. Some more 68s that I did not see. These are cool. Some of the St. Louis Cardinals, 67 World Series. So just these cards from 68. So those are cool. Those were in there. Some more of the 70 scratch-offs cards. I know, I showed these in my last video that I picked some up, but there were some more of them that I found, so I grabbed all those. And again, it's just cards. I've never owned these before. I've never had any of these scratch-offs before. So pick those up. And then in my last video, if you saw it, there was some of those 69 Topps Decal Edge cards. There was like 1 Rod Carew and 2 Carl Yastrzemskis that I picked up in my last video. Well, I found more. So this time I found 5 Rod Carews. So it's just 5 Rod Carew Topps Decal Edge from 1969 cards. There was 1 more Carl Yastrzemski, so now I have 3 of these. And there was a Brooks Robinson in there. So yeah, I mean, again, under 10 cents a card. All right, and then these were the most exciting baseball that I got in this stack. So there was 3 of these, and they all had top loaders that said $10 each, right? And which, I don't think they're not $10 cards. But it was 3 of these, the 1970 Topps Bill Buckner rookie. But again, and I keep saying it, but 10 cents? And these are in great shape. I mean, they're sharp. They're centered pretty well. But again, 3 of these, I'd buy these for 30 cents. And then there was also 3 of these. And there was a price tag on each of these for $30. And again, it's not a $30 card, I don't think. But it's the 1970 Topps number 1, the Mets World Series champion cards. So there are 3 of these. But again, I mean, it's not a common, right? I mean, I don't know what they go for, but it's not a 10-cent card for sure. So 3 of those. And then there was a 1965 Topps Orioles team card, which this is a short print. It's numbered 572. So I don't necessarily know if that's the high numbered series. I mean, I think it would be, but it's an SP, and so, at least according to Beckett, it's a $25 card. Again, I know that doesn't mean anything, but I'm just saying it's not a common, right? It's, so again, but at 10 cents. And then the other 2, these are pretty cool. A 1960 Topps Los Angeles Dodgers team card. Pretty good shape, off center, but that 1960. And then a 1959 Los Angeles Dodgers team card. And I mean, this one's in pretty good shape. It's centered really nice. It has, 1 corner, 2 corners a little beat up. It's probably a VG, very good condition, but centered really nicely. And again, I think like in Beckett, it books for like $50. But again, and so I know, Beckett pricing doesn't matter. All I'm saying is that it's just not a common, right? So, but 10 cents. So yeah, I mean, I think I did pretty well, right? I feel like I saved these cards. And you know what? There's something that I remember from a video, probably a few months back, but Lou over at Lou Rock TV, and I don't know why I remember this so much or why it stuck with me, but he made a point, and And it's a really good point, right? Like, he was going through maybe some 25-cent boxes or so, and he was showing some cards from 25-cent boxes that he picked up. And he was talking about how, you know, they were in their old top loaders and yellowed top loaders and, you know, like just very beat up old cases. And he said something to the point where, like, he rescued them, right? Where, like, he saved them, and now they're part of his collection. And I really like that. You know, that stuck with me, right? It's like, yeah, these cards that I just bought here are cards that who knows how long they've been sitting in these random boxes full of a bunch of other stuff that nobody wants, right? And they're just kind of sitting there, and you come in and you see them, and it's something special to you, or you feel like is a good value, and you rescue it, right? You save it. You bring these cards into your collection. You know, you take them out of their yellow top loader, and you know, you rescue it and put it into a nice penny sleeve or one saver or card saver or one touch or mag pro or whatever you want to do. But I mean, yeah, just look at these old beat up top loaders, you know, that all these cards came out of, you know. And so I am very excited to have them. Now I'm excited to kind of go through all this stuff and put it away. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this here. I hope you all enjoy your Friday and the rest of your weekend. This is going to be it for me for the weekend. I know I'm lagging on putting out a video. I gotta put a video out on the top 100 cards of the 1980s. I did 3 videos. I got the last video coming up that I gotta finish. I've kind of started it, but I gotta finish that. So that'll be more than likely my next video out early next week. But yeah, like I said, that's it for today. I'm just gonna hang out here and keep drinking some of this and just playing with my baseball cards. So again, you all have a good rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.